Welcome to today's video. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the human mind to uncover how the brain handles fear and why that ancient mechanism still controls so much of our modern lives. Have you ever felt your heart race before a big presentation or frozen in place when faced with sudden danger? That's your brain's fear system at work, an invisible force designed to protect you, yet it often holds you back. You may find yourself anxious about missing out on social media trends or about a lack of likes or comments on your posts. These everyday scenarios highlight how deeply embedded fear is in our lives. In this video, we'll explore the psychology of fear, the neuroscience behind anxiety, and how understanding this process can help you take control of your reactions. The survival circuit, how fear begins. To understand how the brain handles fear, we need to start with evolution truly. Fear isn't just an emotion. It's a survival mechanism that's been wired into us for millions of years. When you encounter something threatening, a loud noise, a dark alley, or even a stressful email, your amygdala, a small almond-shaped part of the brain, fires up instantly. It doesn't think, it reacts. Its job is to detect danger and prepare you to fight, flee, or freeze. In that split second, your hypothalamus sends signals through your nervous system, triggering the release of adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate increases, pupils dilate, and your body prepares for survival. This is what scientists call the fight or flight response. The fascinating part: your brain doesn't always know the difference between real and imagined danger. That's why you might feel terrified during a horror movie or anxious before a harmless event like an interview. Your brain handles fear the same way it did when your ancestors faced predators. Only now, the predators are deadlines, social judgment, or uncertainty. The amygdala versus the prefrontal cortex. Fear is instinctive, but courage is learned. The amygdala reacts automatically, while the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, evaluates whether the threat is real. When these two regions are balanced, fear becomes useful. It keeps you alert and aware without overwhelming you. But when the amygdala dominates, fear turns into anxiety, persistent worry about potential danger that may not even exist. Studies show that people who struggle with chronic anxiety or panic often have an overactive amygdala and underactive prefrontal control. It's like having a car with a stuck accelerator and weak brakes. Understanding this helps us see fear not as a flaw, but as a system glitch. The brain is doing what it's designed to do. It just hasn't updated to modern life. Why fear feels so real? The brain's fear system operates faster than conscious thought. Before you even realize you're scared, your amygdala has already sounded the alarm. This means you can feel fear in your body before your mind understands why. Think of it as a built-in security system. The alarm should go off more often than to miss a real threat. That's why you might jump at a sound that turns out harmless. Your brain prefers false alarms over missed danger. Fear also leaves deep emotional imprints. When a frightening experience happens, your hippocampus, the part responsible for memory, stores it alongside strong emotional data from the amygdala. That's why traumatic memories can feel vivid and painful long after the event. The truth is, the brain handles fear not just as a momentary reaction but as a memory system, constantly scanning your environment for anything that resembles past danger, turning fear into power. So, how do you train your brain to handle fear better? It starts with awareness. When you feel fear, pause before reacting. Recognize that what you're feeling is an ancient system trying to protect you. Labeling the emotion, saying to yourself, I feel afraid, actually activates your prefrontal cortex and reduces amygdala activity. Next, use exposure and reframing to proven psychological techniques to better manage your fear. To practice exposure in daily life, start by gradually confronting your fears, beginning with the least frightening situation and progressively moving on to more challenging ones. For example, if public speaking makes you anxious, start by speaking in front of a supportive friend and gradually move to larger groups. Reframing involves changing your perspective on the fear-inducing situation. When you notice signs of fear, remind yourself that these reactions are your body's natural way of preparing you. Instead of thinking, I'm terrified of public speaking, try telling yourself, my body is gearing up to perform. This way, you could see the physiological response as excitement and readiness. Exposure, gradually facing your fears, teaches your brain that the threat isn't fatal. Over time, the fear signal weakens. Reframing, changing the story around fear, transforms it into motivation. For instance, instead of thinking, I'm terrified of public speaking, try, my body is preparing me to perform. The same physiological arousal, a faster heartbeat, and alertness can be seen as excitement rather than terror. In short, fear is energy. You can run from it or use it. Fear. In the modern world, our ancestors needed fear to survive lions and storms. But today, fear often manifests as social anxiety, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. The brain still releases the same chemicals, even if the threat is an email or a judgmental glance. This mismatch between ancient wiring and modern life creates chronic stress. Yet, the more we understand how the brain handles fear, the more power we gain over it. Practices like mindfulness, deep breathing, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, all work by calming the amygdala and strengthening prefrontal control. For instance, a simple mindfulness technique is to focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Then exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. This calms your nervous system almost instantly. Another CBT technique involves thought challenging. When a fear-inducing thought arises, question its validity. Ask yourself, what's the evidence for this thought? Could there be another explanation? These strategies can help manage fear effectively. When you slow your breathing, your body signals to your brain, I'm safe. And the fear signal fades. Final takeaway: fear is not your enemy, it's your oldest teacher. It's the reason humanity survived. But in today's world, learning how the brain handles fear allows you to rewire that ancient instinct and turn panic into presence. So, the next time fear shows up, don't run. Listen to it, thank it, then remind it that you're in charge now. What's one fear you'd like to understand better? Share it in the comments. your insight might help someone else. If you like the video, and if you want to hear more, hit like and subscribe for more content on psychology, human behavior, and the science of the mind. And if you want to see the full playlist, the link is in the description.